back at it. As per usual, just give me a second here. Kill that. Just popping out all the chats. Waiting for things to refresh. This is odd. There we go. This is odd. And YouTube. Shrink, shrink, shrink. Why? Oh. Okay. Sorry about that. Still looking for Moria. Okay, good thing I noticed. I did an American Truck Simulator one, I don't know, a month or two ago, and I stupidly didn't check that OBS was actually working properly there, and there was sound, but no, it was just black. Yeah, that was bad. I deleted that stream because what's the point? Alright. So I've got about an hour here before I have to go to work. Ouch. Looks like the sun is going to be right in my face right away here. There we go. Yeah, where was I? So yeah, I've been playing Mines of Moria and just figured I needed a break from that. Feels like I'm getting close to the end, but I'm not 100% sure. Then maybe I'll download that, I can't remember what the hell, there's some DLC for it. Looks interesting with NPCs and stuff. Mixed reviews on it, but I think it does add some extra content map-wise, I think, if I remember. Okay, delivering logs. I delivered 2, right, so now I gotta go and deliver 2 more. Do we have any? There are no logs here. Looks like I have to go to the reactive zone. So we are here. Okay, I don't know why it told me to come here. Where do we get medium logs from? Wow, this might be a trip. Yeah. 2 places, this one looks the best. Medium logs, okay, so flatland. That was Orvo, right? Yes, flatland. Alright, so I guess we'll head south here. Go down this way. To flatland. I need fuel. Oh, there's a gas station. It's not attached. Good. Let's go gas up. This is going to be a bit of a trip. But if there was ever a vehicle to take, this is it. see on my car, my real life car, I replaced the brakes. My rears came powder coated and the fronts didn't. It's just because the rears were a package deal, and the fronts I couldn't find one that had the same type of pack of two that are powder coated, or even ones that are powder coated. So so I bought them the two front separates. Oops. And then I looked into getting them powder coated, but it was kind of a pain in the ass because you have to basically take the calipers apart, and a lot of the parts, or some of the parts are, if you take it apart, you basically got to replace the part that you took off. So I'd be looking at getting a repair kit, and these things were brand new, and I didn't feel like, messing with it more than I needed to. So my old calipers, I used some DuPont ceramic caliper paint. It worked. It chipped fairly easy, which was kind of a pain over the years, so I decided this time I wanted to look around and see what else there was, and there's this G2 two-stage enamel caliper paint, which is supposed to be even better. And they have a lifetime warranty on it. If it ever chips, they'll send you free paint and stuff, and it wasn't cheap, right? So I bought this stuff. You have to mix, there's like a little can of paint, and you throw in this reactor, it's called. It's part of the enamel. Okay, good. I was just going to say that. Go wrong way. Yeah, let's do that. And you mix it, and then you let it sit for 5, and then you mix it some more, and you can paint, and you have to have about 15 minutes between coats. So I did all of that. Yeah, fuck it. I know where I'm going. And then it takes 24 hours to cure. And I'd hung them up. I have a big ladder in the garage, and I just hung them on that. Cleaned them all off with brake cleaner. I used a Canon some to make sure all the, because it's bare metal, right? And parts are always covered in like a thin layer of oil to protect them from rust when you get them. So yeah, to get rid of all the oil, right? Because you don't be painting over this layer of oil. That's not good. So did that, painted it, let it sit for, it was actually 2 days before I actually put it on the car. And the first one, I bumped into something as I was under there, screwing around doing what I was doing, and the paint chipped off. And I'm like, well, what the fuck is this? This isn't gonna handle, like, it just bumped it. Like, I didn't, it should be a lot more robust than that. You get a kit. Go down here. But I thought, okay, well, they have this warranty, so go to their site. It's G2 USA or something. And yeah, they do have that. You need to show them pictures and proof of purchase. So I got pictures. That's fine. I took pictures. Proof of purchase, I don't have. The stuff I bought it from is this place called Tire Stickers. I know, weird. They sell caliper paint too. And when I purchased this from them, they never sent me a confirmation email or anything. I mean, I was charged for it, and it came really quick, but it was kind of odd that I never got a receipt. And so I don't have proof of purchase. So I just sent them an email yesterday. We'll see if they get back to me. Sent them the date and how much and everything, all the details, in case they need anything to look it up. Because I mean, I don't have an order number or anything. So we'll see. Hopefully they can send me something, and then I can send that along. If not, it kind of pisses me off. I mean, like I said, the stuff wasn't cheap, but I'm certainly never going to use them again. And the fact, you know, once you mix the paint, and you have to mix the whole thing, you can't reuse it. So I've got a little can of red brick down there from the stuff that was left over, and there was quite a bit. It's a really small can, but it goes a really, really long way. The stuff spreads pretty thin. And it's for 4 calipers, and I only painted 2, so I did 3 coats on there too. Right up the bum hole. There we go. Alright, where are we going? That Orville place, right? Is it down... or Overo Hills? Let's see. Oh. That makes things a little easier. I'll come down here, because I did this bridge up. Or bridges. I could even grab more fuel if I need it. Yeah, I'm not gonna. And then let's continue on down this one. They both look like they might be a pain. That one's longer. So yeah, hopefully they can get that to me. Otherwise, I don't know, I could send them... Well, I mean... I've got the item on my visa. I don't know if that could be used as proof of purchase, because it just shows that I bought something from a place, but it doesn't say what it was. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, if I don't get that back, I don't know. Maybe I'll just go grab some of that DuPont stuff. That you can reuse. And just touch up the spots where it chips, I guess. I don't know. I'm not really impressed, that's for sure. I don't know if I got a bad batch, or maybe the metal was too smooth. Maybe I had to rough it up a bit. Didn't say you needed to do that, but I mean, maybe. I mean, it wasn't like it was smooth. It was rough, and on their pictures they show calipers that are just like, you know, super shiny smooth. And this definitely wasn't that, so I don't know. It was either a bad batch or, well, I mean, that must have been what it was, because I did everything exactly as the instructions say, and I watched videos before. I actually did it better than a lot of the guys in the videos, because they weren't stirring theirs consistently while they were putting it on. Because that was one of the things in the instructions, you gotta stir it every once in a while. I never saw anybody do that in any of those videos. So yeah, I don't know. And the other thing is too, it didn't harden. It's kind of like rubber. Which makes me think that there's something wrong. Because I was thinking this was going to become like a hard shell, not rubber. I mean, it seems hard on the thing, but in the can, it's definitely like rubber. Push my finger on it. It's got some flex to it. But maybe that's normal too, I don't know. So, I don't know. I told all those guys that, or I will, I guess, when I send them the warranty claim. Once I get my proof of purchase. The things you have to go through. Speaking of going through, yesterday we had this huge storm in the city, and I drove home through. It was fun, a big part of it. But the first thing I noticed, there's a parkade in the building I work at, and I get in early, so I got a spot that's right in front of the exit. And I come down there and get out the door into the parkade, and it's like there's a big pool of water, and I'm like, uh-oh. It wasn't terrible, you know, but I was like, what the hell? And there was just water coming down the ramp from outside under the doors. Looked like a little river. and that could only be coming from water that was just hitting the down ramp into the parkade, which isn't very big. Which means it must have been raining like just fucking crazy at that point. I know you couldn't see across the street from my building to the other one, just as I was taking off. So it was coming down pretty good. Some really good thunder too. Wow. But yeah, so that was the first thing. So I get out and drive down the street, and here's a manhole cover up out of its hole laying there. So obviously there was a fair amount of pressure at some point to push that thing off. And I'm stopped at a light just past that, next to another manhole cover, and you can just, I had the windows up and it sounded like they were down because this thing was so loud. The street was, you know, not like full of water, but it was raining and stuff, and there was this noise, this huge noise coming out of this manhole cover. It sounded like a lot of water or rain, or sorry, air. I didn't see anything like blowing out of the holes or anything, but it sounded like it was really loud. And then on the way home, there was a couple spots where part of the road was just buried in water. I made it through okay, but yeah, it was fun. It was a fun drive home. I actually made good time too, surprisingly. I wasn't going super fast because I didn't want to hit any, well, like, I came down, there's this bridge, you gotta make a sharp turn around this little bend, and then you're going across this bridge, but right there, there was a fair amount of water in the right lane, and there must have been a manhole cover missing because there was this big, like, whirlpool of water going down the hole there. So it kind of made me think, yeah, there's probably, like, the cover's off, because there's no way that's going down through those little holes in the top of the cover like that. So I didn't like speed home as fast as I usually do, because you don't want to be, you know, you're going along and then the water doesn't look like much, and then suddenly it is, and that's not good. And then yeah, hitting missing manhole covers or just even giant potholes, because there are a few. They've been getting better at patching them up, these goddamn potholes, but there are a few big ones. They're usually in that lane next to the curb, so I stayed in, like here, I stayed in the left lane, staying away from the curb on the right side. But yeah, that was a fun drive. My car isn't as dirty. I just washed it yesterday. It pissed me off, but it's not as dirty as I would have expected. Actually, this has been a fairly easy trip for a long trip. Ghost Rider. Look at the size of that steering wheel. He's got his hands like really far apart. It's been a long time since I've driven a vehicle ahead. Is it showing? Oh. Alright, where are we going? Oh, there's another trailer here with wood on it? Jesus, they're everywhere. Well, we'll leave that one alone. Alright, it's just up the road here. these tip over. Should get a further view here. This might be a fun vehicle to have in real life. Probably super loud though. And of course, fuel prices being what they are. It's like 178. Oh wait, no, it might be more like $2 a liter, which is like what's that? No, how many liters? There's 4 liters in it. Right? So $8 a gallon? Ish. That's crazy. You know, when I first bought my car in 2001, I've got a spreadsheet I've been keeping track since then. Fuel prices and get fuel mileage and stuff. The first 1 or 2 fills, somewhere in there, it was 24 cents a liter. 24 fucking cents a liter. And now it's like $2. That's crazy. That is crazy. Especially when you consider that fuel is not a non-renewable resource. They discovered that a while ago. Decades ago. Some guy confirmed it in the 70s. And they've hidden that from everybody. They call it fossil fuel, but it's not made from fossils. It's just geothermal, chemical pressure, heat, whatever in the crust down there creates this stuff. And, okay, we need to go up there. Probably stop at the gas station over here too. Bump. Bump. Actually, no. We don't need to do that. Because where we're going, there's a fuel station right close by. Yeah, like the Moon Titan is covered in hydrocarbons, and there's no life on that planet. So where did it come from, right? That thing gets squished and squeezed and crushed, and as it's going around Titan is that? I think it's Saturn. Saturn or Jupiter? I'm pretty sure it's Saturn. It's one of the moons there. It's just the tidal forces of the bigger planet that it circles around, and it creates, like, the whole surface has just oceans of this stuff, which goes to prove, you know, that there's a ton of it, and they find that, and they've found since, like, I don't know, at least the 40s. I think it was before then, early 1900s maybe it was late 1800s, that fields that had been drained of oil were found to have refilled. They go back and it's like, oh, it's filled up again. Let's, you know, but yeah, they hide that from people to keep demand, you know, supply low, higher demand, so they can raise the prices, make tons of money, and to control us to some extent. Because if you control the power or whatever, besides the fact you're making money, you can control all kinds of stuff. I mean, a lot of these wars that were based around oil, they weren't needed. So what was that about? Is it just because somebody didn't want to play ball? Maybe they were putting too much on the market, or they just needed a war because they make a lot of money on wars too. Don't know, but it definitely wasn't because of a shortage of oil. It's just like these prices now. It's just a gouge. They're just trying to get money out of us. It's probably a big reason why they're trying to keep Alberta down here too. They're hampering us from getting our product to the market. That, you know, saying, oh, the tar sands they're dirty, and then they show, you know, the big areas where they're cleaning it all out and stuff. What they don't tell you is that this oil is in the soil, right? It's like there are areas where you can go just grab a handful of sand and it's just oil. It's gross. And I mean, if you think about that, that's not great for plants or animals or anything. So what we're doing here is like a giant cleanup project. We just happen to be keeping the oil that we pull out of the soil for our own uses, but yeah. So if anything, it's a giant green project. I mean, and you can ask anybody there. There are stories people tell. You know, there's certain rivers and stuff that there's tons of oil on the surface, and the trees in these areas were always stunted and twisted. And then after the oil companies came through and cleaned it up, basically they replanted these forests, and they're incredible compared to what they used to be. So yeah, but you'll never hear that. So many lies, and the rich assholes, and people, you know, everybody's concerned with their lives and what's on TV and whatever's going on in their lives. The media and stuff, nobody talks about this, and anybody who does usually gets shut up, or in some way, you know, though they're crazy or conspiracy theorist or all this, you know, they have terms that they just plant on people, and it works. Sitting back that far anymore. There's not a lot going on. I don't have to worry about the trailers flipping over. But yeah, fuel is about as abundant as ocean water, so it should be extremely cheap. And as far as electricity, we could be using thorium reactors. Thorium can be used instead of uranium, and it's much cheaper, much more abundant. It's much safer to use. Safer after the fact. The half-life is a lot lower than it is with uranium, and but we don't because the byproduct of uranium in a nuclear reactor is plutonium, and plutonium is used in nuclear weapons, which militaries want. So facto, here we are. They just pushed the uranium's the only thing used in nuclear reactors. But yeah, I think China is starting to get back into using thorium because they needed it. People there. I don't know if they have as many people now. I've heard rumors. They used to have 3 billion people, but because of their one-child policy, lots of people were just having male children because that was the thing to do. You don't want a female, you want a male. If you can only have one, right? That's what they were doing. So now they're top-heavy with males and don't have a lot of girls, and their population is dropping. Plus, they have tons of old people. They have more old people than they do young people who work. And in the communist system, that's really bad. You need lots of people that work to keep the thing going. And if you've got more people not working than working, that's a huge drain on their system. But where it is, that they're down to about 500 million people now, about half a billion, down from 3. suspect this is due to the COVID scam that went on. They were locking people in buildings. There was videos of them putting metal over doors on buildings, apartment buildings, and welding it shut so people couldn't get out because, oh, they had COVID or whatever. I talked about this in the previous one, but they had, and you can see it from space, they had crematoriums running day and night for I don't know how long, burning up dead bodies all along their coast. They had ash falling in Japan. Like there's videos of the rain. It was like this powdery or this white stuff, and it was ash, which is kind of gross when you think about it. Dead bodies falling all over you. But yeah, tons of smoke coming off their coast from all these crematoriums that were running. And I think they killed off a ton of these old people, like a ton of them, and maybe more problem makers and whoever. I think they used it as a good excuse to go after these problems and take care of them. And yeah, so their population is apparently 500 million. Another interesting fact is that according to the UN bullshit, they want to get the population down worldwide to about 500 million. I've heard that. There's about 8 billion people worldwide. They want to kill off 7.5 billion of us. But China was supposed to be allowed to have 500 million. So that's an interesting. If they're saying they're at 500 million now, did they follow through with this plan and like kill a bunch of people to get their population down to 500 million? Like, just part of their big plan, globalist plan. It's interesting and kind of scary. And that's something they've been talking about for decades, if not longer. Wanting to get the population down to a more manageable size. And by manageable, I mean manageable by them. They want to enslave that 500 million. Yeah. Anyway, let's get off that topic. I could go right down the rabbit hole and give you guys a super black pill. It's not fun. Not to mention it's now probably a bad thing to be talking about here in Canada. Oops, I did it, didn't I? Yeah. Crap. Let's see if we can't get it to back up without flipping over. Oops, wrong way. Two of these things hooked up like this, not good. I wonder if I can go. No, that's a rock wall all along there. We definitely need to go back down there. Yeah, they enacted their laws here recently. Specifically about online content like this, where they can basically go after anyone for saying stuff that they say isn't true. And I don't know, I'm assuming that I think the fines and the punishments were quite severe. Like, $50,000 and 25 years in prison kind of idea or something like that. But I don't think I'm popular enough for them to be worrying about. But who knows? I know there are lots of people who are far more visible in this realm talking about this stuff that they'll probably go after. Like, the Rebel News guys, or what's her name? Shit, get rid of this blonde chick. There's lots of them. Moose on the Loose. These guys have tons of people listening to them, and they talk about stuff like similar to this all the time. these logging trailers are really known for being super tippy. And it's a huge pain in the ass when they do. All those logs just become 3 big logs when they tip over, but getting them back on to the trailers, you need a special crane for it. You gotta bring another guy out here to do it, and that's a pain. And then you gotta get them lined up on there properly for it to turn back into a big stack like this. And if you don't, the logs stay on the trail there and just get in the way of things. Become kind of a hindrance, so you basically have to pick them up unless they're like well off to the side or something. And I mean, I guess it's faster maybe than driving all the way back and getting another load, but yeah, if you can keep from tipping over a logging trailer, it's the best thing to do. Anything else is not that bad. These things are, yeah, big pain in the ass if they tip over. We're almost out of fuel. Yeah, I've got more on the roof. Do I have, oh, that's a spare wheel. Wait, I went to refuel. Why was it showing me the spare wheel? Let's do that again. Refuel. Spare wheel has 40. Okay. It's an odd way to, no, whatever. Through the worst of it here. Kind of glad I brought this vehicle. Yeah, I've got about 10 minutes left before I need to go to work. Today I'm going to be focusing on placing, we use something called MBAN to manage our BitLocker. BitLocker is used for encrypting hard drives. It's part of Windows. And we can manage all the keys and stuff with, right now it's a server and a database on another server that control and run all that, manage it. And we recently moved over to something called Workspace ONE from Omnissa, which was formerly called VMware. And it handles it too, and since we're doing all of our stuff through there, we're moving it over. And it sounds easy, but there's a lot of little things to be aware of and careful of. So I've written up a couple of scripts and whatnot to go through and handle all this, so I'm going to be testing a bunch of that today. Just pull it over here. So that's my plan to get that all tested and ready for by the end of the week. And with any luck, if everything works today, although I did have to rewrite a few things and make a few changes and add some stuff. Some steps I was going to do manually. I think I'm going to see if I can script them up. Town warehouse opened. What do they have here? Wood planks. Let's move this thing out of the way. Okay, what do we got left? Do we have... Again, I want to look for stuff that gives me... water stations... cooling towers... I'm looking for warehouses and... warehouse. Deliver. Oil tank semi-trailer. Cabins, metal beams. Probably get all that there. Orvo Hills. It's going to deliver it to Orvo Hills, which is where we're at. No, we're in Pipeline Bay. Let's see if we can find this warehouse. It should have a magnifying glass on it. There we are. Oh, this huge fucking thing. Saddle high, huh? Eh, 5 minutes left. Gonna need something big. As I recall, that trailer looked pretty beefy. Oh. Okay, the Avonhorn's next up. Well, that works out. This guy's a fucking monster. Saddle high. Does he have anything else we can add on there? What's this? Oh, got a crane too. Although it lowers my power to weight a bit. You can see the truck kind of goes down too when I put it on. I don't need it. What else do we have? Oh. Fuel, repair parts? I don't remember seeing this before for this. That's very interesting. I think I'm going to take that. Didn't lower my power to weight ratio either. Shit. All this time I did not realize that was... Unless they just added that. Which they may have. And we're going to the Orvo Hills, which again I think... oh, right there. No, we have a trailer already. Can't... Shit, 4 minutes. Now this thing would be fun to have. I mean, look at this fucking thing. What a fucking monster. He's also got all-time, all-wheel drive and lock differential, which is pretty fucking awesome too. I only have to drive into work 2 days a week. I usually go at the start and end of the week. because it's the traffic's less, parking's better, and there's less people in the office too, which is kind of nice. It doesn't feel as hectic or noisy, distracting. So this week it's going to be Monday and Friday for me. They actually just put out a thing recently wanting more people coming in on Mondays and Fridays because there's not enough coverage. And we're all working from home. We're still working. Who gives a shit? Like, and we don't do, we're not customer facing, and we don't have to physically meet with people for 99% of what we do. 99% of the time. Oh, that thing's big. And now I have to get this out of here somehow. Can't go that way. Can I make this turn? Yes, I'm pretty sure I can make this turn. This thing's not as long as it looks. I think. I don't know, we might get hung up on that. I don't know, I could go up there and... Can I turn around over here somewhere? You know what, I'm just gonna try and get through here, what the hell. I can always back out if I need to. We're stuck. And it's getting worse. He's moving to the right there. Alright, we're gonna have to... Actually... Shit. What the... Okay, kind of thought those boxes would just fall apart, but I guess not. Wanted to maneuver them around, so push them over to that other zone. Actually, I still could. As long as these boxes are destructible or something and don't get in the way. And they are not. But I'm able to get over them, so far not taking any damage, which is nice. Alright. If coming through here was a mistake. Probably supposed to go the long way around or something. These boxes and shit. What's wrong? Yeah, that's great. Fucking box. Wait a minute. Yeah. Alright. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to call it there. Because I have to go to work. Which sucks. But it makes money that I need for paying for gas and stuff like that. Alright, so I'll maybe be on again tonight. Probably tomorrow morning if I don't get up late or something. Anyway, that'll be it for now.